So we'll begin the second session where we're going to talk about the demerits of capitalistic economy. Okay, in the first session we studied about the merits of capitalistic economy. Now we will see the demerits. Okay, the first demerits of capitalistic economy is inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth. Okay, now see, one of the drawback of capitalistic economy is that there is a vast inequality in the income in the distribution of income and wealth. Okay, the major part of the income goes in the hands of the rich people. Okay, therefore in capitalistic economy you will see that there is a wide disparity, wide gap between the rich and the poor. Okay, so what happens is the richer goes on becoming rich and the poorer goes on becoming poorer. So the bridge between the rich and the poor in capitalistic economy is quite wide. Okay, so there's inequality of what? Inequality in the distribution of income and wealth. As I said, the major portion of the income goes to the upper class of the society in capitalistic economy, right? Okay, the second demerit of capitalistic economy is class conflict. Okay, so what do we mean by class conflict? Now see, as I said that in capitalistic economy the society gets divided into into two groups, that is have and have not. The entire society in capitalistic economy is divided into haves and have-nots. So who are haves? Haves are the upper class people who own a lot of wealth, and have-nots are the poorer section of the people. Okay, so what happened very often, there's always in capitalistic economy you get to see a lot of conflicts. Okay, for example, lock up in the factories, strikes, etc. So this kind of situation and problems usually arises in the capitalistic economy. So class conflict is one of the drawback of capitalistic economy. Okay. So the next point, the next drawback of or a demerit of capitalistic economy is unemployment. Okay, see, unemployment is also one of the major problem. Major problem that arises in capitalism. How? See, due to that in capitalistic economy, as I said, what does the producers do? They produce a lot of good, with the aim. The production is in high scale in capitalistic economy, because the main intention of the producer is to earn more and more profit. So in this race, what happens is sometimes it leads to, like, there's a problem of overproduction. When your main aim is to earn a lot of profit, so what happens? To earn a lot of profit, you must have a lot of goods, isn't it? So with this intention, sometimes what happens, you go on producing a lot of good, which leads to overproduction, and when there is overproduction, then your things get stocked, right? So at such kind of a situation, you may not require labor for a certain months or a certain period of time, because you already have a stock of goods. So in such a situation, what happens? People will lose job for a temporary period of time, but they lose job, right? So ultimately what happens? They suffer. Unemployment is created. So this way, unemployment is one of the main drawback which is created in the capitalistic economy. Okay, and mainly it happens due to the ambition of producers and all, with the view of earning profit. Directly it affects the production, and that is how all this the whole thing situation gets disturbed, and that ultimately leads to the unemployment problem. Okay, so that's the third drawback. Okay, the next point is exploitation. Okay, see, in capitalistic economy, the rich always exploits the poor. Okay, so the few the few section of people in the society, they take away the major portion of the national income, and a very few is left for the rest of the people. All right, so what happens is that the rich people, they enjoy the luxuries of life, the rest have to live the miserable life. So that is one of the major drawback of what capitalist economy. All right. The next point is wastage of resources. Now, see, in capitalism, there is a considerable, wastage of resources. First of all, what happens is that, the producers mostly concentrate in the production of luxurious item more than their demand. Why? Because the prices of those luxurious item are very high, and they, they earn a maximum profit out of it. The margin is very high, and they earn a lot of profit. So what happens is that they concentrate in the production of luxurious good more than the demand. Okay, there what happens? The resource gets wasted. Okay, now another thing is that, when a new technique of production is introduced, the old one is discarded. The old one is just discarded. That in the old one also, a lot of money is involved in buying and creating and all those, isn't it? But when the new technique of production is adopted or created, the old technique or the old machinery or whatever is discarded. So there also a lot of wastage takes place. All right. And in another example where wastage takes place is that, capitalism. In capitalism, one of the main features of capitalism was competition, isn't it, among the producers. So in order to attract the attention of the consumer towards the product, a lot of money is, a lot of resource in the form of money is wasted in, a sort of advertisement, hoardings, to attract the attention of the customer. A lot of money is wasted in such activities. So in capitalism, what happens? Wastage of resources is very high. Okay, so that's one of the drawback. Now next, economic fluctuation is another point. Now what does this mean then? Let's see. Due to unplanned production, there is a fear of overproduction or underproduction, leading to instability in the market and price fluctuation. Now we are talking about economic fluctuation, no? So what happens is that, the prices of the commodity in the capitalistic economy is not fixed. Later on, we are going to see in socialist economy. After we finish this lesson, we will see socialist economy, where you will see the prices of the commodity is fixed by the government, like that. But in capitalistic economy, it's not like that. There is a high fluctuation. Fluctuation means changes in the prices of the commodities. Okay, and there's nobody to control the price of the commodity is obviously fixed by the private entrepreneurs, and usually the private entrepreneurs' main objective is on profit. So the margin that they keep is very high. The prices of the commodity keeps fluctuating. Okay, so due to this, and usually, they don't plan their production. We, in the previous point also we discussed, due to unplanned production, what happens? There's a fear of overproduction or underproduction, which is both bad for the economy, isn't it? When there's overproduction, what happens? We saw first point, unemployment take place, overproduction, because once if overproduction takes place, then you don't want any more production. If you don't want any more production, means you don't require labor. If you don't require labor, then they go unemployed, right? So we saw all these things are interrelated, and that similarly goes with the even in the market also there will be a sort of instability if there is overproduction or underproduction, and it even affects the price system. Okay, it even affects the price of the commodity. Understood? So this is another drawback that we saw. Now let us see the last drawback of capitalist economy, and that is self-interest in place of social welfare. Okay, so as under this type of economy in capitalism, the self-interest is the main motive of the entrepreneur rather than social welfare. Now what does this mean? That in private, in capitalistic economy, the main objective or the main aim of a private entrepreneur is what is their main motive? Main motive is what? Profit. You remember we talked in the merits also that this price the profit the motive of profit acts like a catalyst to them to work hard. Remember we talked in the just stop it this point where we are talking about self-interest in place of social welfare. What happens is their main motive is to earn more and more profit. You understood? They are not in the market for the social welfare of the people. Okay, they are not in the market to take care of I mean the social objective is not at all their aim. What is the main aim? Main aim is to earn profit. They are in the competition. They compete with each other in the market among the producers. Why? For what? To earn more and more profit for themselves, so that they can bag a fat amount of profit from the market. Okay, so these are the some demerits of capitalist economy we saw today. Well, in the next class we shall do about socialist economy. Please stay tuned because we are going to take another say 5-6 video lesson classes to complete this lesson, types of economy. Okay, so till then keep connected and stay safe.